you guys, welcome back. Today we are going to finally plant some of these Amorphophallus Konjacs. Like I said to you before, I've got the smaller ones that are just starting to develop growths. As you can see here, I don't know, are you able to see that? There should be a little bit of a pink loveliness going on in there. They hadn't shown that before. It was kind of a brownish tone. And now that it's kind of ready to be planted, it's going to show a little bit more color, and yeah, just it looks like it's coming back to life. So this is a time that I would start planting these. So since last, well, I don't know, since I posted the video with the one coming into bloom, I'll show you a picture of that one right up here. It looks great, right? It's not really that big, it's only been about a week, but it's coming along, and yeah, I'll keep you updated on that one, and hopefully it continues on the up and up, and doesn't, I don't know whether the flowers can rot off if you do something wrong. Probably not, because they just do what they do. So anyway, there's been a lot of interest in the Amorphophallus baby bulbs from my Canadian viewers. And so yeah, I'm going to show you how I'm going to plant these bulbs so that by the time you receive yours, or maybe if you're not in Canada, you're just watching this anyway, if you receive some konjac bulbs, you'll see how I plant them. So yeah, we'll plant these, and I'll also plant one or two of the small ones so that you can have a reference point, because some of the small ones aren't going to have this nice color here to show you the upside. So I'll just give you an idea of what to look for and how to deal with it. So anyway, without further ado, I'll bring you in a little bit closer. First, I will show you what I got here. I've got some all-purpose potting soil. It's a moisture-retentive mix, but it's also a free draining. It's got some perlite in there. Just a really basic all-purpose potting soil. Let me just get off my chair here. I'm going to grab some slow-release fertilizer. Actually, I have some Miracle-Gro slow-release fertilizer right here. Sorry, I seem to never be prepared, but everything is not so far away. So I like to add some slow-release fertilizer when I plant these things because, well, sometimes I forget to fertilize, and I don't want to be that guy that starves his plants. So I give it some slow-release fertilizer in the soil, already built in, and then when I do fertilize, it's a bonus. And these guys, when they actively grow, they're really pretty heavy feeders. So I will open this up, get this ready to go. We got the soil here, and for this size bulb here, I'm going to start them in, I think this is an 8-inch pot. It could be a 6-inch pot. See how there's about an inch all the way around? This is just a starter. I will probably transfer these into a larger pot when I go to take it outside, but I don't have enough space in my house for like all kinds of big pots. So I'm just doing this to get them to start growing, produce some roots, maybe get some top growth starting, but this isn't its forever home. So anyway, I'll bring you down a little bit closer, and we'll go through this together, shall we? Okay, so I had several pots down here, and I thought I don't need to pot all of them in front of you, because that would get a little bit boring. I need to figure out where my camera is at, so that I get the pots in frame. So I'm only going to do one of the bigger ones, and then I'm going to pot one of the smaller ones, so that you can see what to look for when you go to plant your small little baby bulbul or offset konjac. So I've got this all-purpose, oh, it's not an all-purpose fertilizer. This has added calcium. This is for tomatoes, fruits, and vegetables. This isn't necessarily the right one, but it still is food. But I might end up using my my slow release for hanging baskets. This one is more of a balanced one. Actually, I'm gonna go with the one for the vegetable garden because I feel like it. It's going to give it some food. Again, I'm going to be fertilizing regularly anyway, or I hope to be fertilizing regularly. So first thing I'm going to do, as I always do, just going to put a piece of paper towel in the bottom of the pot. I want to cover up all the holes. There's been a lot of debates on what to put in the bottom of the pot. Some of you suggest putting the pieces of broken clay pot. That's a great way to do it. Some of you use coffee filters. That's another fantastic way. I like to use paper towels. There's not really a big difference. Some people say that the amount of drainage is different. One is faster than the other. I say the water's going to get through anyway. So anywho, I'm going to add some soil to the pot. I'm not going to add a lot of soil. I want to, and it's best to use a pre-moistened soil for this because you don't want to end up having to drench it with water and have the bulb risk rotting. So a pre-moistened soil is best. That way you don't really have to water it until it becomes bone dry or the bulb has started to actively grow and you can see it coming up and do its thing. And you really don't need to water them until the real true leaves come out. It's good to keep it a little bit damp though. I'm saying a lot of words. You don't want it to be bone dry, but you don't want it to be soaking wet until the leaves are actually out and flourishing. Because just like an amaryllis, most of these bulbs do not produce roots until they're actively in leaf. So just keep that in mind. Too much water when they're still dormant means bad things, usually rot. So I put about 3 or 4 inches of soil in the bottom of this pot, and there's going to be about 1 inch or 1.5 inches of soil above this bulb, and that's about perfect for this pot. When you're planting bulbs, it's good, it doesn't pick it up on camera, to tilt the bulb just a little bit. Does it pick it up on camera here? Can you see that there's a little bit of a concave here where the new growth is? Well, that concave, you want to have it just off on an angle so that any water will drain off of the top of the bulb. Because if anything sits in there, it potentially could rot the bulb. This is true for things like begonias. So if you've grown begonias in the past, treat it like you would a begonia bulb. So just tilt it just a little bit to the side. You don't need to put it on its side. I'm trying to get my bearings with the camera here. But just a little bit so that it runs off of the concave section. So this bulb is in here. It's ready to go. Actually, I say that I'm going to fertilize, and then I never do. There we go. Now I got fertilizer all over my work desk. Story of my life. So, okay, we got some fertilizer in there. No need to go crazy with it. We're just going to pop that bulb in on a slight angle, and then we're going to add soil to the top. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to add the soil to the top there. We're just going to firm it around. Make sure there's no air pockets. I'm going to add a little bit more soil to the top there. I can still feel the bulb right below the soil surface. You want to leave a little bit of a lip around the pot so that when you water it, water doesn't escape the pot. It stays inside there. So then if you are using dry soil, you can go ahead and give it a little bit of a drink to moisten it up, but otherwise it's ready to go. So now we're just going to wait and watch for the little growth tip to come out here, and then you can do your thing with it. So now we're going to do one of the small ones. Let's grab 1 or 2 here. Let's grab 2 little babies here. And I'll show you close up what we're looking for. You just grab a piece of paper towel. We're doing the same thing. Going to grab a little piece of paper towel, put it in here, and we're going to grab a little bit of soil. Not much is needed in here at all. For these small ones, I'm just using a little 4-inch pot. No need to go any bigger than that. They won't get really big the first year. Start it in a 4-inch pot, and then after it grows, you can move it into a slightly bigger pot. And then these ones, you also want to keep them a little bit closer to the soil surface. They don't have a lot of stored energy, so you just need to be aware of that. You don't want to have them go through 2 or 3 inches of soil. So, okay, when you receive these bulbs, there's going to be an upside and a downside. How do you tell which one is which? Well, if you can see roots, that's a definite telltale sign of probably the bottom. But these ones here have a little bit of a nubbin. Do you see that little bit of a nubbin here? Versus on the bottom side, it's more flat. Do you see how flat that is? There's not really a lot going on there. And then this side here, it looks like everything is kind of folded in and nicely contained. Let me see if I can find another one in here. This here is the bottom. Just more flat. Nothing really going on. This one here is the top side. It's got a little bit of a point to it. Can you see that? I don't know. I hope it's coming into focus. Let me stick my palm out there. Is it going to focus in on it? Who knows? But you can see the little bit of a point. So that's the top side. So when we plant these, we're going to make sure that the top side is facing up. This one has a little bit of a pink new growth. That's perfect. So we're just going to plunk those close to the soil surface. And then we're just these ones I'm not using any fertilizer with. I might add some to the top. And then I'm just going to cover it just slightly with soil. Easy peasy. Again, you don't want to have too much soil on top of these. Maybe a centimeter at the most. But I would say just lightly covered. And then after they start growing, you can plant them differently in the next pot. Like after they get to be a little bit taller, you could transfer it into maybe a 6-inch pot. But right now, you don't need to take up a lot of space. They're very, very small. So just let them do their thing. And yeah, they should be really, really simple. I'll keep you posted on all of these guys growing. And we'll make many, many updates so you can see their progress. So anyway, if you like this video, please like. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and check us out on Facebook. The Plants and Things What's Growing page is a fabulous place to meet other garden nuts. There's a lot of people on there that are just as crazy as I am, or probably you are, and it's fantastic. So many great people that are so knowledgeable and fun to talk to. Share your photos, share your experiences, help some people out. Anyway, happy growing, everyone, and until next time. Areas, and in my climate I have to bring them inside and I get them to go dormant, and they go dormant down in the basement. This one here had no real light. As you can see, there's no leaves going on.